Hey there folks, in this video I'll be showing you a highly effective Barbarian build that I enjoyed a lot during my recent playthrough. This build excels in dealing both single target and AOE damage thanks to the Bloodlust ability from the Tiger Barbarian. You can attack up to 3 foes in front of you and possibly maim them for one turn, leaving them immobilized and often causing them to skip their turn. This not only enhances your damage output, but also adds a valuable crowd control capability to this build, and it works really well even early in this game. With the Barbarian's reckless attack ability, granting advantage on all your attack rolls, you won't have to see that missed attacks pop up all the time. By level 4, you can just take the Great Weapon Master feat for the plus 10 damage without worrying the penalty on your attack rolls. And after you get the extra attack, your damage output just doubles, and you can unleash 2 AOE attacks in a single turn. In the later acts of the game, we'll dip into the rogue class to gain another bonus action. This allows for a hit and run tactic. After you cleave through your enemies and immobilize them, then using a bonus action to disengage, you can retreat without provoking opportunity attacks. This strategy will force your opponents to skip their turns at character creation. Just choose whatever race you like, as none of them will have a significant impact on your gameplay. As for ability points, we'll be focusing on strength, dexterity, and constitution. A strength score of 16 will increase your melee attack and damage rolls, while a dexterity of 14 will not only provide a plus 2 bonus to your armor class when you're wearing medium armor, but also improve your initiative. Setting your constitution to 16 makes you more resilient, especially when you're being on the front lines and taking damage. At level 2, you gain the danger sense, providing you advantage on dexterity saving throws against traps, spells, and surfaces. It's okay, but not overly remarkable. On the other hand, reckless attack is a really strong ability that gives you advantage on all your attack rolls, but enemies also have advantage against you. Reckless attack is absolutely the best ability for barbarians. At level 3, you get to choose your subclass. Since this video primarily focuses on the Wild Heart subclass, we won't delve into the details of the Berserker and the Wild Magic subclass, but based on my gameplay experience, the Berserker subclass is well suited for a throwing weapon build. However, the Frenzy Strike imposes penalty on your melee attack rolls with each use, making it less suitable for a melee striker build. The Wild Magic subclass provides some supported magic abilities similar to the Wild Magic Sorcerer, but none of these effects are overly powerful in my opinion. So we're going with the Wild Heart Tiger Barbarian. When you enter Rage, your jump distance increases by 4.5 meters, and you can use the Tiger's Bloodlust, which allows you to attack up to 3 enemies in front of you, inflicting a bleeding condition on each target you hit, and each enemy takes half of the damage. Although the description failed to mention it, if you land your hits on all 3 enemies with the Great Weapon Master ability, the additional plus 10 damage remains unaffected, which is pretty nice. At level 4, we get to choose our first feat, and of course, we're taking the Great Weapon Master. Despite the minus 5 penalty it imposes on your attack rolls, it's still a solid choice, cause as a barbarian, you have advantage on every attack roll, and it provides an extra 10 damage on each hit. With a Bloodlust targeting 3 enemies, that's a potential 30 extra damage. When you hit level 5, you gain the extra attack, which significantly boosts your character's damage output, and to take it even further, you can get yourself hastened through a potion or a spell to make 4 attacks in one single turn. At level 6, you can choose a Animal Aspect as a passive ability, and you want to go with the aspect of the Wolverine, which reads as, when you attack a bleeding or poison target, you also maim them for one turn. A maimed target's movement speed is reduced to 0 and has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. This synergizes exceptionally well with this build, since the Bloodlust attack automatically causes enemies to bleed unless they are immune to this effect. effect. Most importantly, you don't need to target a already bleeding enemy to make this work. Just simply using Bloodlust will make your targets bleed and become maimed. At level 7, we're multi-classing into the rogue class. At rogue level 1, you have the option to gain proficiency in one skill and expertise in two skills of your choice. In combat scenario, athletic is pretty good. For the rest, you can choose whatever you like. Additionally, you gain access to sneak attack, but since we'll be wielding a heavy weapon, this ability may not be put to good use. At rogue level 2, you get cunning actions, allowing you to use hide, dash, or disengage as a bonus action. At rogue level 3, you unlock fast hand, which grants you an extra bonus action, which significantly enhances your gameplay flexibility, enabling you to combine actions like raging and jumping in the same turn. This really opens up a lot of choices. At rogue level 4, you get to choose your second feat. In this case, we're going with the Savage Attacker that allows you to roll your damage dice twice when making melee weapon attacks and using the highest results. This is pretty much giving you advantage on your damage rolls. At level 11, we're switching back to the Barbarian, getting the Feral Instinct, which provides a +3 bonus to your initiative and can be surprised. Basically, it functions like the alert. At level 12, you get to choose another feat, and there are a few options to consider, with Sentinel being a solid choice if you have another melee character on your team, or you can just take the ASI to boost your strength to 18. In terms of gear, we got plenty of great choices. In the early game, the Mighty Claw from Act 2 is really good, as it increases your strength by 2, pairing this item with a Harmonium Halberd, which also boosts your strength by 2. It's a really powerful combination. However, it comes at the cost of a -1 penalty to intelligence and wisdom. But the benefit you gain from this item just outweigh the drawback. With these two pieces, you can boost your strength score to 20 or even 22 by consuming the potion of everlasting vigor. The choice of the cloak is also really important. The cloak of the cunning broom is a perfect option for this spell. When you use the disengage action, it creates a foggy cloud that blinds everyone within a 2-meter radius. So after you hit your targets with Bloodlust and immobilize them, you can then disengage and get away without triggering an opportunity attack. Moreover, you leave behind a foggy cloud that blinds your opponents, causing them unable to target you with either range or melee attacks, possibly force them to skip their turn. For helmets, the Horns of Berserker is a pretty good choice, giving you a +2 bonus to your attack rolls against creatures that are not at their full health. They also add 2 additional necrotic damage to your melee weapon attacks. In terms of accessories, the Broodmother's Revenge is a pretty solid choice, which adds a little extra poison damage to your weapon attacks every time you receive any healing. As for rings, you can use the Killer's Sweetheart. When you kill a creature, your next attack roll will be a critical hit. This happens once per long rest. The Eversight Ring makes you immune to being blinded. This is really handy when you use the disengage action to create a fog that blinds everyone inside. If you're immune to this effect, then you get advantage over your enemies, and they have disadvantage when attacking you. Now let's jump into combat and see how it works. At the start of your turn, you want to rage and then cleave as many targets as you can, disengage and run away. In most circumstances, the monsters will just have to skip their turn. This also provides a chance for your spellcasters to unleash some AOE spells, such as Fireball, to get the most damage out of it, because they now have disadvantage on Dexterity saving throws. With the extra bonus section from the rogue class, you can choose to push the mobs together for a cleave attack. When you're pushing them around, you also gain advantage on your strength checks, increasing the likelihood of shoving your enemies. That's it for today's spell. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.